Growing up as a kid in Buffalo was amazing. You know, the town is very family oriented, very tight knit. Everybody knows each other, and it was just very community driven. All the kids in the neighborhood would play all the time. We'd have such a great time. Block parties every summer. Just really close knit and fun. As a kid, I was always having fun, playful, excited to be alive. You know, I would be always at my friend's house playing sports, football, basketball, hockey, baseball, golf, you name it. We were always having a good time. You know, as a young toddler, even into 8, 9 years old, I just remember having a great time, just having a blast with my friends. My parents got divorced when I was in fourth grade. I was 10 years old, and I still remember that night so clearly. You know, it's something that really stuck with me, and there's been a lot of healing that has had to come from that. I remember that night, my parents telling me and my sister that they were no longer going to be together. I ran upstairs and locked myself in the room for hours, and even until the next day. And so I created a lot of different stories and limiting beliefs in myself. Am I good enough? Am I wanted? You know, there was a struggle internally within myself going on. You know, I was adjusting to this new way of life of living in two separate places. And, you know, I think as a kid at 10 years old, you don't really get it. You don't really understand it. You don't understand human relationships in that sense. And so it's just really difficult, but it shaped me in so many ways. It really gave me this strength to find myself in so many different ways without having parents that had a loving relationship. So it really shaped me into who I am today. I followed the cookie cutter outline of going to school, getting a job, and climbing the corporate ladder because that's what I was told to do. It was a societal conditioning that I had taken on as my identity and what I needed to do to actually be successful in life and to do all of the great things that people tell you should be doing. At that time, I was dealing with this external struggle because, of course, it was what everybody told me that I should be doing, and that driving force for me was to make money, right? Because that's what every single person wants in this world. Is like, we need to grow up and make money and support ourselves and support others. So that was the driving force. But I knew I was in a complete battle with myself internally because I wanted to help others and connect with the world on a deeper level. Internally, it was really difficult because I was trying to prove myself. I was trying to, you know, be that man that everybody tells you need to be. I was supposed to be that man that, you know, by what society defines a man as. And I was wanting that validation from others. I was seeking that recognition, and that's what was really driving me. And so there was just this war going on inside of me. I ended up hitting this brick wall. I was climbing the corporate ladder, and I was being called on by higher level executives to hold higher up positions as I got my master's degree and all of that. But there was this wall that went up inside of me saying, stop, no, stop what you're doing. This is not your path. This is not what you're supposed to be doing. So I heard about the Peace Corps through passing. I don't even remember the source at that time, but I had heard about these experiences that these people were living in another culture, overseas, in all these different countries. And they were not only helping others and connecting with others, which were my true core values, but they were finding out about themselves. It was the hero's journey, right? It was that classic journey that everybody goes on to find themselves. And that's exactly what I was looking for. After I learned about the Peace Corps, I decided that I needed to do as much research as I could. And so I got to it, and I spent all my hours doing research on what it was like, how do you apply, how do you do this and that. And so I ended up applying, and I had a conversation with my mom. I'll never forget this. We were sitting down in the kitchen. I told her that, hey, like, I'm serious about this. I am going to go for it and see what happens. But it wasn't until later, much later, that I found out that I was actually going to be going. After I found out that I actually got in, and then I made my decision that I was actually going to embark on this journey, I faced a lot of problems, but it really wasn't so much from the outside, because I had a lot of supportive friends and family telling me that, you know, you can do this. This is something that I think is going to be great for your life and all of that. But there was an internal struggle, because I knew just over the horizon there was a death coming. There was a part of myself I was losing, and I was going to lose once I went on this journey. And so I was started to get a lot of fear come up, and I was feeling a little terrified at times. So it was really more of an internal struggle than anything. After I found out I got accepted, I got an email. I'll never forget this night. It said that you have 7 days, exactly 7 days to decide to go to Tanzania, Africa. And Africa, if I'm being honest, wasn't my first choice. I really wanted to go explore South America, and I had these biases within me saying, oh, I don't want to do that, I don't want to go there. But fate had it decided that I needed to go to Tanzania, and that is more powerful than anything. And I'm so glad I decided to take that journey.
So what change did you go through after finally saying, fuck it, I'm gonna do this?
It was a freeing. It was this unleashing. It was this beast coming out and saying, I am ready to take on the world. And my heart just exploded. I was ready to go, pumped up, and just so excited for this journey. I couldn't possibly know how my life, everything I knew to be true, was about to change drastically.